Hi. I am doing a Clangen thing again, except actually arting this time, and it's really inspired by Nyoko. I don't think I said that right. Nyoko Art's thing, so you should check that out if you have not seen it already. If you haven't seen Galaxy Clan, and a lot of the stuff I do is gonna be inspired by her. And yeah, also, next video, if you see like a design change or something in a ton of the cats, that's because I'm switching, which app I'm drawing on, so I don't have the photos from my first app. Also, I will say I played ahead like 2 years, and I know everything that's gonna happen. Well, not everything, but yeah. Okay, starting off, I will just talk about the clans for a minute while we watch me do this stuff. So starting out, the clan is called RowanClan, and their guide is Ivy Glint, who I don't have that much to say about. They were a mediator, and they joined RowanClan shortly after its founding as the first mediator of the clan. They don't actually know that much about RowanClan's founding, but I do. Basically, RowanClan was founded when a group of rogues got sent a vision, and every rogue that got it sent and followed through with it, and any cat they told who believed them, was saved from a large natural disaster of some sort, depending on where they were. That led them to this safe place where RowanClan currently lives. RowanClan, to this day, due to this, believes in StarClan heavily, and not respecting their will could result in exile or even execution, depending on what you did. Now, and they also treasure their young highly, so apprentices are not allowed to leave camp until 8 moons old, and at 9 moons, they can only leave with 2 adults. Medicine cats can only leave with at least 1 warrior escort. Now we move on to our leader, Fumblestar. Fumblestar is a pretty chill cat. She is a good leader, but she is pretty strict. She has no mate or anything like that, although she does, what was I saying? I really needed to take better notes for this year. Oops. But she is 167 moons. She has lost only 1 of her lives, and she is a generally good leader. No cat has really questioned any of her decisions so far, and she has only been leader for some years, although she is one of the founding leaders. She's one of the first leaders, not the first, but as it's a relatively new clan, very close. Next up is the deputy, Cherrybark, Cherrybark, he is, I just imagine him as like a really tall guy, really big guy, who is really sweet and nice. He has a kid in the nursery right now, who he loves very much, but is sad that he doesn't really have time to be with them much due to their many duties as deputy of the clan. So Cherrybark can't really spend time with their kid much, but they do try to be a good father when they have the time to spend. He is a charismatic cat, and he doesn't use this for ill will or anything. He's a nice guy, but he will use it to get troublemaking warriors or apprentices to listen to him. For one, he also uses it to make a lot of friends. Most of the clan likes him a lot, and he is very excited to talk to all of them. Well, most of the time. He can be a little short at times, but he knows he can't yell or anything, and that he has to be really gentle because of his size. He's really big, so he could pick up a smaller warrior with ease. And he is just, yeah. I really like Cherrybark. Cherrybark's one of my favorites. So there's them. But then we have Icy Mouse, who is our clan medicine cat. And I've actually decided that Icy Mouse is, does have dwarfism, which makes him really small. So he does honestly argue with Cherrybark from time to time about this. He's a little bit jealous because of Cherrybark's height, honestly. Although it doesn't impact him that much. Yes, it does. Whatever. But he is actually in a forbidden relationship. Well, we'll get to in just 1 second. But, so RowanClan does outlaw medicine cat relationships, although this rule may change sometime in the future. It's hard to tell. But so he could get in pretty big trouble if this was found out, but it likely won't be. Icy Mouse is a grumpy-ish cat. He is daring, but I take that to mean he's more experimental with his medicine treatments and stuff, rather than he goes on a lot of adventures or anything. He is a pretty fluffy cat, but yeah. Also, I do have same-sex relationships turned on, but I'll either be saying they adopt, or they have a surrogate. It depends. We'll have to see for many of these cats. Then we move on to Icy Mouse's mate, actually, who is named Whisperbur, and he is a pretty tall cat. He's like a tall, skinny cat. But he is currently in the medicine den due to being poisoned, due to a poisoned rabbit. He is being hit pretty hard by this, but he tells Icy Mouse that he is fine, not wanting to cause trouble for his mate. Thankfully, Icy Mouse can see this is not the case, and will accordingly scold him when he does this, and then treat him. He doesn't mention their mateness or anything much to Icy Mouse because he's scared for Icy Mouse and what will happen to him if they are found out. But he's very excited about it. So am I, honestly. But Whisperer is just a pretty chill guy. He is a cunning cat, so he's pretty smart, but he doesn't always act like it. Anyways, so then we move on to the second cat in the medicine den right now, Melba Spot, who is a former kitty pet warrior who joined this year, and he is currently poisoned, actually, due to himself. Basically, what happened is, Melba Spot cat caught a poisoned rabbit, causing him and Whisperer, who ate it, to both become poisoned, although they aren't sure how bad the sickness is yet. But it doesn't seem that any of the other prey is poisoned, so Fumblestar is choosing not to look into it. Melba Spot is, he's a bit of an annoying cat, honestly. At least how I think of him. He's probably the type of person who would, complain, because he got himself into trouble and no one helped him out of it. Which is exactly what he's doing while he's in the medicine den, complaining about how he's so sick, and no one likes it, suffice to say. But Icy Mouse is being a bit short with him at the moment because of this. But Melba Spot Melba Spot's just doing his thing, I guess. And then we have another cat in the medicine den, the final one, who is one of the 3 apprentices currently in Clangen. His name is Lizard Paw, and he is a childish male cat. His father is Hair Cloud, who I will get to in a second. But he is in the medicine den for a pretty bad snake bite. He doesn't really care about that, though. He really wants to go out back into the world, I guess, and continue with his training. He's just turned 9 moons, and he's very annoyed about how on his first moon allowed outside, he can't even go. He's kind of annoyed with Icy Mouse for that, and he complains about it a lot. Also, slight blood warning for his bandage. If you just, don't look at, that part when I'm coloring it, I guess. I don't really know. But I color it, last, so you don't have to, you can look at what he actually looks like. But, yeah, he's pretty annoyed about that, especially because, he did actually, earlier this year, sneak out with his siblings, so he is, he did that, which was not great. He could get in big trouble for that. Yeah. Then we move on to our next cat, who is Serpent, our big smoky kitty. He was a former loner who joined the clan this year, and he is currently still getting used to it. He he I thought he might be friends with Melbaspot because of his past, but apparently they don't really like each other that much. So that is still on the table for if their relationship will grow, or if they're gonna fight each other a lot. He is a charismatic cat, which is good for him, honestly. Then we move on to Haircloud, who is Lizard Paw's dad. He is a little worried for his son in the den. He wishes he wouldn't get himself into so much trouble and actually take responsibility for his actions for once, but he doesn't mind so much. He does have 2 other kits who are currently in the apprentice's den, and he is very excited for their adulthood. He and Lizard Paws, of course. He is not doing too bad. He's being pretty chill, all things considered. He hasn't had any injuries this year, I don't think. So he's doing fine. He is a strict cat, but I take that more to mean he just wants to make sure other cats follow the rules. And next we move on to our pair of mates. Yes, yay. So here we have Creek Spring and Goldstripe. Creek Spring is this big fluffy she cat. She's my favorite cat in the whole clan, I'm not gonna lie. But her apprentice, she's actually Lizard's Paw mentor. So she's feeling pretty bad about how he's stuck in the medicine cat den, and she feels like she's failing him pretty much. But she is very excited to be mates with Goldstripe. She is an adventurous cat, which is well balanced by Goldstripe's strictness. Goldstripe makes sure she doesn't go too far with her adventuring, but also allows her to, but also goes out with her on adventures and stuff when she feels like it. Goldstripe is a bit, she can be a little nervous sometimes about trying new things, which causes her to be more strict for other people as she worries for them as well. But Creek Spring gets her to be more out and about and like try more things. So she's very grateful for Creek Spring as well. And they're very cool, and I really like them, and I hope they have kids together because they'd be really cute. And yeah, they are probably my favorite clan cats. Very cool, very nice. Yeah, I really like them. Although I have to admit Goldstripe was kind of a pain to draw, but yeah. I've also been using them as my marker for the years, and when to stop going because we ended on 20 means, but just ignore that part. Anyway, so that's like pretty much it for them, but I'm gonna keep talking about them anyways. Goldstripe is actually mentoring one of Haircloud's kits as well, I believe. I think she's mentoring, I don't remember which one, but I know she is. Trust me on this. But she's a good mentor. She makes sure her apprentice stays in line. And next up, we do have Haircloud's other 2 kits, actually. Oat Paw and Bright Paw, and I believe that Oat Paw is being mentored by Goldstripe, though I don't remember correctly. If any of this is wrong, then blame me. I will not care. But anyway, Brightpaw is a more, like, organized, responsible cat. While Oak Gorse is more charismatic and, like, she gets her way easily. But Bright Apple is sometimes a bit, sometimes sort of like Bright Paw feels a responsibility towards making sure his siblings don't get themselves into trouble. Which Paw, and I'm trying so hard to not to say their warrior names, which Oatpaw and Lizard Paw make sure is hard. However, they are good cats at heart, and Brightpaw knows this. They just wish they wouldn't get into trouble so often, like their dad wishes as well, so that they can stop having to watch after them. Brightpaw is actually, they're both 9 months old, and I will say, while I was recording this, I messed up the eye colors and stuff, so I had to deal with that, but we're just gonna ignore that. Now, Brightpaw is actually the youngest of the litter, I believe. No, wait, they're the oldest, which that makes sense for how responsible they are. But they do have fun with their siblings sometimes. They just really wish they wouldn't get into so much trouble. They did sneak out with them once and then regretted it, because they almost got themselves into trouble, and it led to a lot of sticky situations for them. But they are doing fine now. I just remembered that I drew this, the liner for this on the wrong layer, so that was fun. But yeah, so these cats are, yeah, they're cool. I really like these ones as well. I just like all of Hair Cloud's kits, honestly, they're very cool. But, Brightpaw is probably the closest with Hair Cloud, although obviously Hair Cloud loves all his kids. Brightpaw is a bit of a nervous wreck. They can have a lot of nerves sometimes, which is partly why they're so responsible, but it's not all the time, and their siblings help them out with it, while also causing their worry at the same time. It's complicated. I really like how Brightpaw's markings look, though. Sometimes Oakpaw and Lizardpaw aren't the most considerate about Brightpaw. They'll often get themselves into trouble or a situation, leaving Brightpaw to clean up the mess. And they don't intentionally try to do that. They're not, like, trying to be mean, but it often happens. Anyways, moving on to our next cats. Robintail, our only elder, and Omkit, our only kit. Robintail is a good friend of Cherrytail. Cherrybark. But, they're very close friends. But they and Elmkit actually dislike each other pretty heavily. Well, not heavily. They just dislike each other. So Cherrybark tries to get them to like each other more, but it's hard. I didn't actually realize this when I was drawing them, so I see this more as like a forced meetup than a like actual fun chit chat, like when your parents make you talk to like when you're a kid and your parents make you talk to another kid you don't like, but your parents are friends. That's literally just what this is. Elm Kit is Cherry Bark's kit, of course, which is both good and bad, as he doesn't have much time for her, but he is, like, he's nice. He's a good dad, other than that. And then we have Bismuth, our one outsider, and I will only be drawing outsiders once unless they become very plot important. But Bismuth is basically just this, like, he's this, not really cool, he's this fierce, but also not fierce kitty pet. He acts like he's cool, but no one really thinks he is. He's pretty tall, and he says he's fierce, and he does act like that sometimes, but he can also be a bit of a coward. It's on and off. He wears a spiked collar because he thinks, well, A, because of his 2 legs, but B, because he thinks it looks cooler, and so he wants every other cat to know he's the boss. He is not the boss. He does look pretty cool, I will say. I really like how he looks. But other than that, he is not cool. All of the clan cats dislike him. And also all of the kitty pets. He's just one of those arrogant guys you dislike a lot. But he hasn't caused any trouble for the clan yet. So it's not like they're gonna do anything about it. He is a kitty pet. Which only adds to the clan's dislike of him. And he absolutely, like, he's just, I don't know, he's just there. Okay. That should be it for this video. And I hope you guys like this. And there are more years on the way, because I played to year 3 now, and I said I'll stop peeking ahead after this. Trust me. I will not peek ahead anymore. But, there is lots of stuff to come. So, yeah. Okay. Now I have to edit this.